Hello, my name is Joni Martins and I'm a multi-genre author. Today I would like to read for you the first chapter of my first book, Captive Love. And in this chapter we will meet the main character of the book, Lydia, who is a 24-year-old general practice receptionist who's gone out for a night out with her friends. We meet her the next morning. It was pitch dark around me and I couldn't see anything. No light seemed to penetrate to where I was. Where the hell was I? My bedroom was never this dark. It had not even been this dark that time the streetlights failed. I moved my hand in front of my eyes. At least I tried to. Instead, I found I failed to move them sufficiently to reach anywhere close. What on earth was going on? I tried to work out where I was. The place felt damp and there was a faint smell of mold. It was nippy and shivers ran down my spine and, as I mentioned, pitch dark. This was definitely not my bedroom. I couldn't move my arms any significant distance, and when I tried, they moved against my ears. I wiggled my arms a little more and something seemed to scrape against my wrists. Something rather rough held my wrists together. When I tried to move my fingers, I only just touched my right pinky to what felt like a rough rope bound around my wrists. A slight panic arose. Where was I? Why? How? With a pounding heart that appeared to have taken up position in my throat, my breaths became increasingly faster. All muscles shook and I was close to losing control of my senses. My skin tingled as perspiration completed what now was a panic attack. Okay, it was time to work out where I was and control myself. Panicking would not help me. I needed to concentrate on my breathing and bring it back under control. Slowly out, slowly in. With every breath, I felt marginally calmer. Don't get me wrong, I was still panicking, but I felt a little calmer anyway. As I focused on my surroundings, I could feel something soft against my back. Could this be a mattress, perhaps? I tried to move my legs. Not much room to maneuver my legs either. When I tried to put my feet flat on the mattress, I only just managed that. I nuzzled myself up to get some more room to move up my arms. Now I had fully extended my legs and they had no further room left to move. First I moved my arms a little to my left, feeling around as I did. This did indeed feel like a mattress. Next I moved them up a notch and I could follow the rope to something which felt smooth and cold. Metal likely. I concentrated hard to find out what exactly the item was. The loops and twists convinced me it was the headboard of a bed. I tried to move my hands down a little, but only just reached the top of my head. Even when I moved my head back, I struggled unsuccessfully to reach the ropes with my teeth. It was of no use, and instead I moved my arms to my right and felt the mattress again. Stretching my arms as far as I was able, my fingers grazed on a rough, cold and uneven surface. Moved my hands along the area as far as possible. A dip, something rough, then a dip again, cold and uneven, hard as rock. It felt like brickwork, a wall perhaps. Where was I? How did I get here? I desperately tried to recall any memories from before I ended up here. Memories of my friends Krista, Freya, Josie and I in the pub we serviced, but they were rather fake. I pushed myself harder to remember. Smiling faces, drinks at a bar, dancing. Flashes of a night out with friends fluttered through my brain. Surfacing memories suggested it had been a lovely night and we spent a great time together. Although we all had a few drinks, we had not drunk enough to explain the headache and fuzzy head I was experiencing at the moment. To be honest, I hardly drank any alcohol at all. 2 was my limit. Last night had been no different. I just sat and chatted at the bar, and we danced a little too. No strangers had entered the pub. Everyone knows everyone in the tiny village we live in. It had just been a quiet night out after a shopping trip in the afternoon. After my head cleared a little, I remembered I had left the pub earlier than my friends as I needed to get up early for work. Did I get to my car? I couldn't remember whether I made it to my car. It all remained rather fuzzy. Then another memory surfaced. I got outside and felt a little bit wobbly and lightheaded. An arm was placed around my waist and a voice said, "It's okay, Lydia, I've got you. Let me help you home." The voice was familiar, but I still couldn't quite recognize it. It was a male voice, but who was it, and where did he take me? My breathing increased again and my heartbeat sped up. I felt breathless and tingly and quite lightheaded. I could hear the blood rushing through my ears. Another panic attack threatened to take hold. Again, I lay back and tried to calm myself down. Breathe in and breathe out. Slow breaths. I was feeling slightly better again, not as lightheaded as I was before. Suddenly noises filtered through to where I was. I tried to place where they were coming from. Was it in the same space I was in? Mice, perhaps? I heard some scuffling noises. No, they were not near. It sounded like they were coming from somewhere above my position. There the noises were again. Now they sounded more like footsteps. Some shuffles, then some creaking noises like floorboards. Next, there was a squeaking noise and a slight bang. There was a sound like water hitting water. Next, it sounded like a toilet flushing. Someone else was here. I opened my mouth to scream for help, but then shut it again. Would it be such a good idea to let them know I was awake? Or would it be better to find out as much as I could before they found out? I couldn't quite make my mind up, and I still felt drowsy. What had happened to me? Why was my head hurting and fuzzy? And why did I react like this after only 2 drinks? The noises coming from above faded again, and although I tried to keep my eyes open, I drifted off to sleep against my will.